I was playing Mario Kart with my friend Nathaniel when we had just figured out how to use Parsec to play any couch co-op game we want with each other, and I asked him about other games we should try out, and he mentioned a game called SSX Tricky, which I was like, whatever, I don't really like this game, but I mean sure, if you want to play it, we can play it together. So I went ahead and I got it, and he was like, well, I'll see you next time. I had some time to try the game out and see how I feel about it. So I booted it up to play it for a few minutes just to see what it's about and get it ready for the next time that we play. Turns out, I got completely addicted to this game. I don't know why, but SSX Tricky just became a game that I was completely sucked into. I'm also going to refer to it as just Tricky because saying SSX makes my tongue roll. I don't like it, I don't like doing that. Tricky has a very simple gameplay loop. You have to get to the bottom of the mountain. There are two game modes that you can do this in. One is a race, in which, you guessed it, you can race against other people. The other is a stunt event, where, you guessed it, you have to do stunts. And one is about getting first, the other is about getting the most points. One of the main things that sticks out to me about SSX Tricky, is the way it plays. Because the way it feels to play this game is just amazing. There's this case when you start playing, your characters are kind of slow and you can't really do that much with them, but that is good because you're still learning the ropes. And obviously as you get better at the game, you can upgrade your characters, so you can improve their speed, you can improve the way they do stunts, you can improve this rate at which you can do these flips and stuff, and that's just how it is. As you get faster, you get harder. Shit, what? No, wait. As you get faster, the game gets harder, and as you get harder, wait. This is not what I want to say. Whatever, fuck it. As you get... No, I give up. I was trying to make like a harder, faster, better, stronger, like the song by Daft Punk reference, but that clearly did not go according to plan, and I'm just gonna give up on that one. The game also has some amazing music and sound design. Like, I think one of the main things that always sells a game for me is the way it sounds, and this game sounds amazing. It easily has some of my favorite songs in a game because this shit is just such a vibe to listen to when you're playing it, and even the main theme is just so good. The narrator of the game will also say whatever stunts you did, and it's always fun listening to him say whatever you just did.
Backside 720, listen Indy. That was sweet.
And if you repeat a jump, he will also say like, oh, why are you doing that again, and stuff.
What was that?
It's always good. And also the sound design is just amazing, and I think that's one of the most integral parts of any game, and this one nails it. Like when you do a big jump, the audio does this thing. And then when you're about to land the jump, it does this. The music just kicks back in and it's blaring in your ears, and it's one of the best feelings ever in this game. I absolutely love it because when you're in the air, you're not just in the air, you're doing these stunts that have you holding your breath because you're like, okay, I need to nail this stunt, and by the time I get to the bottom, I should be on my feet. Because yes, if you don't land a jump on your feet, you will probably crash. This is the thing that requires skill in this game. When you do a stunt, you have to make sure that by the end of the stunt, when you're about to land, you're right on the normal position. There's also these secret roads that you can take, and this is one of my favorite things because when you go into these secret roads, it plays these edgy lines that are always fun to listen to. Yeah, I don't know, at this point I don't even care about the shortcuts, I just love listening to these lines. Because shortcuts, I mean, look at me, dude. You think I need to take a shortcut to beat these losers? I am way better than them. I don't even need to worry about them. The shortcuts? They're for fun, alright? They're for the thrill of the game. But having talked about the game, I think the title of this video is probably going to be something along the lines of how this game changed me as a person. Quite often I have this notion where I've realized that every time I'm sad or I need something from life, I can just pick up any media I want and it will reflect to exactly what I want in that moment in time. However, when I picked up SSX Tricky, I realized that SSX Tricky didn't particularly have anything in it. It was just a sports game about snowboarding across mountains. It didn't have any deeper life messages or any kind of characters that I could specifically relate to about their experiences. And yet it made me feel so much better and had so much impact on me. And this was also relates to the other thing from the previous video where I was talking about game burnout, about how sometimes I don't enjoy games, and I think one of the main reason why is because I spend so much time researching it and making sure I will like it. The expectation of liking something is what makes me not like it. And these 2 points is what I think was important in understanding why I like SSX Tricky so much. Because for one, I didn't have any expectations from it, and the game also didn't have any expectations from me. Because the game doesn't have a bigger campaign that I need to finish. I can level up all these characters, I can get their skills maxed out, I can do that, I can go through all the maps, I can get gold. These are all things that I can do. But there is no compulsion to finish a story or anything of the sort. So in a weird way, there is no real reason for me to finish this game. And yet that is the one reason why I keep playing it. It's the fact that I could drop this game at any time I want that makes me want to keep playing it, which is insane. I mean, why is that the case? And what I said about how I pick up media that will make me less sad when I'm sad, that is, I think, something that I realized a lot better when I played SSX Tricky. Because here's what I think happens. It's not the fact that the media speaks to me, rather is the fact that when I'm sad, I'm not thinking about the perfect media to consume. I'm not thinking, oh, this is the kind of game that will make me happy, oh, this is what I should do. I just need an immediate way out, and I need to consume something just for the sake of it, just so I can get my mind off of it. So that makes me not expect anything, and that means somehow I don't have any expectations of whether this media will make me happy or not, and yet that's the only reason it makes me happy. Do you see how weird this is? Like, everything is just a contradiction in this shit. That's so weird. Another thing is that I was never too interested in sports. So when I played SSX Tricky and I got completely hooked onto it, I was like, I wish I could snowboard. But of course I live in a country where there's not going to be much snow, is there? So I thought I can't snowboard. But I also remember as a kid I was vaguely fascinated with skateboards. And somehow this made me get more into skateboarding. I went ahead and watched an anime called Skate the Infinity, or Skate to Infinity, or something along those lines. Skate was the anime that got me really into skateboarding. And funnily enough, the main character in it actually is a snowboarder who becomes a skateboarder, which is an interesting thing, isn't it? That's what I meant. Sometimes when I go for a random media, it ends up being exactly what I wanted. How does that happen? That's so odd, isn't it? And Skate had a lot going on other than just the skateboarding. The conflicts of the main character actually coincided so much with my own conflicts at the time. This is what I mean. The media just comes to me. It's insane. And I think that anime shaped me so much as a person that I just have to owe it to SSX for getting me down this route, to getting me to the anime. And then after that, I got into skateboarding in general, because I got myself a pennyboard. Now for those of you who don't know, pennyboard is like a cheap skateboard. It's a tiny skateboard. It is extremely small, not good enough for tricks. But since I live in a place where no one really skateboards, I think this is the best I can do. Also, it has bigger wheels, so it's a bit easier to go on uneven surfaces, should we say. And because of my newfound interest in skateboarding, I also started being ever so slightly more outgoing. Because I went to this small place a few times, and they have like a courtyard where I don't know if you can legally skate over there, but I went there, and in front of like 4 people watching me from, the people who were sitting there, I actually skateboarded in front of them. I was not even skateboarding properly. I was learning how to skateboard, which is insane because I have no idea how I had the confidence to do that. But I did it. And it was great. I had so much fun doing that. And I think skateboarding is one of those things that has gotten me so much closer to being more confident and outgoing. And again, I owe that entirely to SSX Tricky. Another aspect that I am not sure if I wanted to discuss in this video, but I decided this channel is supposed to be about my genuine thoughts and experiences, so I might as well do that. In case you haven't noticed, the thumbnail had a flag. This is the trans flag, so if you're transphobic, you might as well drop the video right now, because I'm going to talk about pronouns. I'm going to spread the woke mind virus. And for me, it was just because when I was playing this game, this was about a year ago, and I wasn't quite sure about my gender expression and stuff like that. And when I started playing, I was trying to play as Kaori, which is a victim of the moe genre of girls, right? She's feminine, she's cute, she's adorable, she wears pink, and everything is happy and pretty and feminine. And I thought, if you want to be trans, that's what you have to be. You have to be you completely have to go over to the other side, so to speak. And it was when I got kind of bored of playing as Kaori, because it just wasn't my style. I went through the other characters and I found Zoe. Now Zoe is somewhat the complete opposite of Kaori, because she has nothing to do with femininity in the classic sense. She is what a lot of people might refer to as a tomboy. Now I'm not sure does she classify as one? I don't know. But for me it was really interesting because of course there have been many tomboyish characters in media, but I think it was the timing of this one, and I think it was the contrast that it had with Kaori as a character that I played, that made me realize, you know what? There is no guidebook to how you should be expressing yourself. You don't need to worry about how people will perceive you. Rather, the only thing that matters is you chasing your self-expression and forming your own style and who you want to be. And despite Zoe not having any story really, she doesn't talk about anything. There's just some random voice lines that give her character. Zoe taught me that, and for that reason, SSX Tricky has now become something that has been an important part of my gender, which is weird because it's just a game about snowboarding. You wouldn't think it would teach me anything, but it did. Wow. Okay. But I love Zoe. Zoe is absolutely the GOAT. I think for a lot of people, they grew up with SSX Tricky, and for them, the memories that they have is just of them being a child and enjoying this game. But for me, I discovered this game when I already grown up. I was 20 when I picked this game up, I think. And so for me, this game ended up being something different. At this point in time, I do have some nostalgia for this game. It definitely feels like something I had the whole time when I was growing up. But it obviously wasn't there the whole time. So I view this game from the lens of the struggles that I was going through at the time. And for that reason, this game sticks out to me as so much more than just a childhood game that I really enjoyed playing. And it is definitely a very important part of me as a person now. I love SSX Tricky. And if you haven't played it, I think you should go play it. It is an excellent game. It is so much fun. And I absolutely love it. That's going to be the end of the video. This video was obviously hard to make because I wasn't sure if I want to talk too much about gender stuff, because I did do it twice before and both those videos have flopped horribly. And I can't say if that's because I was so explicit about the fact that I'm non-binary, or maybe it was just because those videos were ass. However, you have to consider that I have to get this YouTube shit off the ground pretty quickly, because in the next month or two my college is going to be over and my parents will start bugging me about getting a job. So I have to get this YouTube stuff off. And to do that, I need to think about how I can make sure that I don't bomb my chances. And talking about stuff like this feels like it might bomb my chances, but if I don't express myself truly, I feel like I'm just being disingenuous, which might actually be worse. Which is why I decided to talk about it anyway. Other than that, yeah, this video is not releasing on the bi-weekly schedule, it's releasing a bit earlier, and that's because, again, I have to get this shit off the ground pretty quickly, so I decided, why not I spend some more time on this? And I believe this might be something I regret, so I'm not going to do this for too long. But for a few weeks, I'm going to try and put out more videos than just one video in 2 weeks. We'll see if that kills me. As usual, if you have any recommendations, suggestions, feedback, whatever, let me know. And I'm gonna go now. Bye bye. What's funny is that me and Nathaniel, when we tried to play it, the ping was just massive, so we only played it for about a minute or two, I think, and then after that it was just like so unbearable that we gave up. So all of this was really just for nothing. It was a waste of time.